start. So, last we left off, you could die and you could display some sort of win condition. You can still jump twice though. So first things first, let's fix the multi-jumping because that's kind of like critical for a platformer. You know, you don't want to be able to fly. After that, you think maybe Goombas? After the jumping thing, do you want to think, or do you think Goombas would be a good idea? A simple limit type?
Yeah.
Why? What? No. Open the script. Okay. So right now, this is what our jumping looks like. These, like, what? 4 lines? 5 lines? Well, this counts as 1 line. Technically 3, right? Yeah. Well, I guess you need the brackets, so 5. Anyway. So basically we just want some more conditions on our jump. We most likely just want like a check, like, hey, are we touching the ground? If we are, we can jump. If we aren't, don't. In order to make things neat, you probably also want like a timer. So like, don't jump if you jumped within the last point, like 0.1 seconds or something. Yeah, so let's see how we set up the ground check. I'm probably just going to do this like this. Public bool, or public void set grounded bool grounded, and this one has a grounded statement, so bool grounded. And this public setter is just going to say ground, or this dot grounded equals grounded. And then right now I'm thinking I'm just going to put like a collider on a child and have that like under it manage the bool. Otherwise we do like a box overlap potentially. Do you have a preference? Which one do you think is faster?
Usually I do raycast or box casting, but for this, I think it's faster to just have like a.
Just have the child?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do the child then. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over here on Mario. We want to make a new game object under it, and we're going to name it ground check. And we're going to put another box collider on it. It should probably be a trigger since we don't want it to physically interact with things. also, does this show us both? It does show us both, yay.
Looks like it's working.
I wish I could see that under it though, but
It's not closing in.
the width of our parent box collider is this. So I'm going to copy that because I kind of want them to be the same, just for consistency's sake. And I don't need it to be that tall, so maybe set this to be like 0.2. And I'm just going to lower it to this guy's feet. Right there. And I just want to make sure it's not completely inside the other one. And as you can see, we have a nice little like lip under there.
How did you create the
So I right clicked and then I hit create empty and that'll create one under it. Alternatively, you can create one anywhere and just drag it onto Mario.
Those can get attached anywhere because they don't.
Yeah, I could do it like that.
Yeah, the only thing we care about is position.
And then I'm just going to create a new script called ground check and I'm going to slap it on this guy. The reason I did that is because I want an on collision enter. Or on trigger enter since this is a trigger. And now, okay. So, oh, this has to be 2D.
The scheduling is such a pain in the ass. Oh, by the way, she emailed saying that if we wanted to week it today, then we should give them like the best 3 days in the roll for us.
I thought I wasn't gonna need to start an update, but I
Yeah,
actually
that's what
might.
I was gonna say. I was like, you gotta look at something.
Oh, wait, is that Lensmate used for?
Oh, yeah. Look at that. I filled it out.
By the way, we can do that whenever you're.
So,
Let me know.
I guess, nah, F it, it'll be simple for now. We can change the layers later if we want it to be exact. What we're gonna do here is we're gonna say contacts plus plus. We're gonna make sure that this guy starts out as 0. Also, on trigger exit is a thing, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. That would have been a real pain if it wasn't.
There's also on trigger stay.
But it ain't reliable.
If you guys have something in mind, you go ahead. And she's like, okay, when do you want to meet? And I was like, well, wait, are you making the song or are we? And she's like, when do you want to meet?
Also, why do you put
I
a
think you want to,
space
like,
between
talk in person.
contacts
Okay.
and plus plus and minus one?
I don't know. I mean, I would put it between like plus normally.
What is this
Except when that's
spacing
nasty.
format?
So,
Should have.
It's sloppy on a mechanical keyboard. I don't like mechanical.
Wait, I don't try.
So on start, we're just going to, and we should probably just get our Jumpman script here. So Jumpman controller. And since we know this is like on a child of the main script, we can just say controller equals transform dot parent dot game object dot get component jump man. So we're saying this guy, it's parent, the game object associated with that one's jump man. That's our controller.
So like on trigger.
Oh right, because they don't go to the stupid class. Let's be honest.
Okay.
Quiet, please.
So now we're just gonna say if context is 0, controller dot set. Oh, we have some semblance of autocomplete. Set it to be not grounded.
I mean, because it has the
There's like,
it has the Jumpman.
I have not had a more boring class.
file
Yeah.
and
51's pretty up there. So is 122A. But I took it with Carrie, who was like
Okay.
the daddiest man alive.
So
He was a
reason we have to do this instead of just saying, oh, if we enter something, set it to true. If we exit something, set it to false. Is because it can be colliding with multiple things.
And then like he came
So like if, for example, you were to jump and land on two things at the same time, and then walk over onto one, okay, you would now still be in contact with something, but since something exited your trigger, you would now tell the controller, set it to false. And you would be grounded, but you'd think you're in the air. This guy actually taught me that when we worked on the game dev. With the freaking goo thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully this just works. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, there's nothing public, so we shouldn't really have to set anything. But we can use a useful tool to tell us. Oh,
And he missed, hit the stairway, and then rolled all the way back down.
one other thing we want to do. We're going to want to change stuff's layers. At the very minimum, we'll say that our player has the tag player. And we're going to say on trigger enter if c dot game object does not equal or dot compare tag player. So obviously we don't want to we don't want to count ourselves as ground, because that doesn't make sense. But technically the colliders overlap, so it would do that if you didn't put a check. Why? Oh, I didn't put the void. Void. Ah. Yes. Okay. So in order to check this, I'm going to go over here, and this thing is incredibly, there we go. And I want this to be in debug mode, which is a nice thing you can do by clicking this guy up here to see all your variables. So
Like
right
that's a
now-
thing?
It is. Isn't it wonderful? And check the little grounded check mark here. Behaves like a 1. So yay. So now, last thing we have to do. For which?
Yeah, sorry, I didn't get on.
For ground checks.
Okay. There's the ground check code. webcam. I never knew that.
Really? Is it ours or is it like someone's that just left it there?
It's ours. Hope it's ours. It's not 'cause someone just left it.
Can you go back to me?
Alright, I guess it's debug time, so it's debug. Do you have it working like you want it?
He said it's really running around.
So, okay, go to its parent.
Can you turn change it back?
You want to get the exact width.
The X size.
Yeah. Put that in there. And then make this thinner.
Yeah. Oh, we need to add the ground transfer so that
Yeah,
sometimes I forget to do that.
And
And
also
sometimes
make
in
it so it's always
quite a few times.
Try making it this smooth. Let me see. So we want it to, this is going to control where he goes from, so you don't want him to be like a foot off the ground. Maybe move it up just a little bit. So maybe -0.9. Yeah, there you go. That's most of the settings. That is a trigger. Good. Trigger.
Yeah, unused stuff. So I added some stuff.
So now go to Mario and then
No, that stuff
should be normalize it to ground.
Can I switch over to the adjustments?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, that's
So this is for ground view. So, I think we're using alignments, right? So we have the diagram. Check the player's time.
Where did you use ground blood?
It's not used yet. We're gonna implement that next.
Okay.
That's why you can still jump.
Yeah.
We just wanted to make sure it was actually setting the pool properly.
Okay, so go back to you.
Hold it there. If not, this is false. Otherwise, it can be
When
true.
you go to your
So that's it. All right. So what it is. compare it directly with what we have up there. 1 to 1. Okay, you're missing an exclamation point. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Graduation. So before what it was doing was it was checking when it enters the collision with something. Hey, is the thing I entered the collision with myself? If so, it counts. So it would only have worked for itself. And of course it doesn't move relative to itself, so it wouldn't do the thing. Now, last step. So if we go back to Jumpman, this is a little annoying, but whatever. If input.getKey down space and grounded. So all I did was add the check that we're actually grounded for when we jump, and let's hope that works. There we go, now you can only jump when you're on the ground. Huh? Yeah. It just says no cap split. It is jumpable as I just
Did you do the?
Oh my god. You cheesed it. There we go. So, fun fact, I imagine you have this at like the perfect height. You jump over or something.
No, actually.
So now you should add this part to your. Yeah.
So, interesting thing. So, in terms of super precise jumping, say you know your game is going to run with a physics fixed time step of 50 cycles per second. So, in other words, a period of 0.02. you can expect the error in your physics calculations to be about double that. So instead of 0.02, it'll be 0.04, so 4%. And it'll always be under. So if you want to jump exactly 1 unit high, and you know that your physics time step is going to be 50 frames per second, you would set it to jump 1.04 units up. And then you get exactly 1 unit height per gate. That's, you don't actually have to do that, but it is important to remember it's going to underestimate things, just as like, there's going to be that apex of the jump, and it's not going to hit the last part that it would have hit in those 0.02 seconds. Yeah. Okay. We have 13 minutes left. Do you guys want to try and do a Goomba real quick? Or do you want to do something else? Sure. Okay, fast Goomba. First, I'm going to go over to my tile map. Just me personally. Tile palette. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, yep. I didn't not see it. I was the one that was slow. Just make that jump overable. Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna put a guy in here that kind of just goes back and forth and back and forth. So let's start out by copying the die box to speed things up. We're gonna call it Goomba. I'll rip a Goomba sprite later, but for now I'll make this guy a savory brown. Oh. No, go. How do I get rid of this guy?
Close it, or
close. So we do like the box glider that's on him. I guess we can have the control. This might be suicide, but I'm going to try and do box glider overlapped in a script. It is a useful thing, but it is also finicky, so it might just straight up not work with no explanation. So I'm just gonna say in update, we're gonna have, okay, well, let's say transform.right is the direction we want to go. We'll say we have a bool go right. If it's true, we'll go right. If it's false, we'll go left. So in update, we'll say if go right, transform dot position plus equals, or yeah, no, plus equals.
yes, we're now mixing transform
Yay!
with rigid body stuff.
Yay!
Or is it? Yeah.
I mean, we could use rigid body without move, position, etc. plus right.
Because it's just
Verbose. Yeah, fuck it. Transform dot position plus vector 3 dot right times speed divided by time dot fixed delta time. Oh boy, that is a line of code.
Since you're in up, shouldn't you put this in fixed update?
I guess.
Since you're using
Yeah, this will be the movement stuff, so it would go in fixed update. Okay, so I'm just gonna finish it and then I'll copy paste it over. Else same thing, but left. Also, I'm changing update to fixed update. Now we just need to change, go right when there's something in front of us. Actually, we can also do that in fixed update. Okay. I didn't think of that. Yeah, no, we really should do that in fixed update. It should check every time it moves. If physics 2D dot box overlap given, I don't know, let's set some stuff. Vector 2 offset, vector 2 size. Also, there's a cool keyboard shortcut. If you press Control Alt and then etc. Okay, I really don't want to do that, but you can type on many lines at once. And just escape to get out of that. What is the documentation for box overlap? I forget the last method.
I've never used this ever.
It is very useful. It keeps you from having to have a bunch of subcolliders. Oh, angle. So it'll probably just be 0. And we kind of want a layer mask for this, because we don't want it to hit itself. So we'll just say public layer mask LM. Okay. Thank you for uselessly auto-completing one time. Okay, I think that should work. This does return. This returns a collider 2D. Okay. If this is not null, then we'll say go right not equals go right. So if we're going right before, go left. If we're going left before, go right. And now our massively experimental little script that we have like 4 minutes to debug will get its main voyage. What's up?
It's overlap box, not box overlap.
Well, like I know what I need.
Show me. Okay.
Yeah, so
Let's just make this a vector 3 then.
Yes,
Right.
no, this is the parameters.
I thought you could do that.
Oh,
Equals.
you can't because like exclamation mark equals is used for not equals.
Yeah, I wanted to do that. Oh, I guess. Yeah, you're right. The Boolean comparison instead of like. Cool. Okay. So to quickly go over the things that it complained at me for, I had to change this from not equals to equals not. I had to change vector 2 offset to vector 3 offset. I think that's it. So let's go back into what? Oh, okay. Oh, it's because I'm in debug mode. I want normal. So let's say it's supposed to go 2 units a second. This is going to be a huge offset, but 1.1. The size will be pretty small. And the layer mask will be default, and I'm going to change this guy to be something else. So let's see if that works. I am going to give it like a 20% chance of actually working. Okay, there we go. Yeah, it didn't because we need a rigid body. Gravity's for cowards. No rotation. Okay, it straight up disappeared. Where did this guy go? Wow, it is very far away.
What did you say it's offset to? Offsets? No, speed.
Yeah. Okay, so is it going like 2 per frame or something? Oh, it's divided by whoops. That's times time.fixed delta time. Yeah, I don't want to move 50 units every 50th of a second.
Yes, I know.
Yay, it doesn't turn around, but it did move properly.
Dependent anyway, so you don't have it.
So let's screw around with this a little bit. Oh,
Yeah, so basically
so it's picking stuff up.
The 2 objects that is using it, that there's no.
Ah, I see. It's because it doesn't,
What's the position of the overlap box?
exactly, it doesn't actually get out of the overlap box in one frame and turned around. So we either want it to only be 0.01 overlap so that it's less than the speed times whatever, or
Change it so that like
have a directionality.
when it hits something, like
It knows
multiply
the
offset by like -1, or the x value of offset by -1. So now it like moves to the other side.
You're right, we should just flip this thing around, you're right.
This one. So the order one is, which event you want. So you can have 2 different animation events in your animation. And so those correspond. Yeah, so this one, I can have a different function. They would both be called at the same time from the same animation.
So, okay, that's fine. That's just because it's going left and it should be going right. -1. Screw you. -1.1.
Yeah, sometimes it.
Oh, no, you
There
need
we
to
go.
save the scene.
Oh.
I love
Let's see if it murders the player.
It's a mirror quirk.
So that. My audio testing scene.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this is Janky Mario. If any of you guys can actually make this into like a real platformer, technically you do have the tools. You don't have the best practices because I didn't teach the best practices. I taught practices I got it done in 50 minutes. But you know how to do animations, you know how to play sounds, you know how to draw tile maps, you know how to do on collision stuff, and you have examples for it. So hopefully that was a useful introduction to Unity for you guys. I think most of you had experience with programming coming into this. I know Matthew did, I know you did. No? Okay. How'd you feel about that?
Well, at the start, it was kind of complicated for me. So.
Yeah.
But once I got to uni, it was like pretty.
A little,
much more simpler.
Yeah.
There are.
Okay, great. I didn't send out a feedback form last week because I was busy, but we'll send one out because the point of this was actually to gain information for doing these kind of things in the future. I had fun with it.
Yeah.
More off the cuff than I expected coming in. I like
You wanna make sure it's not.
me and Conan actually were like teaching like our relatives and shit C# over break.
For Wolfram, it was Java, and it was required for a class.
Oh,
For my
okay.
brother.
Well, I was doing it for random stuff and for pre-planning. But the Unity stuff was off the cuff, and I thought it was fun. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.